I'm kind of piggybacking on the video I just uploaded. Some of us Negroes got this ideology and idea and this mentality. Let's say we have this mentality. I got mine, get yours, Negro. It's a lot of black men and women like that. They don't give a fuck. They got out the ghetto. Somehow they woke up, which I commend them for doing. Because why would you want to live in a place that is bad for your health and your children's health and your loved ones? You can't go to sleep without hearing bullets, shots, people screaming. You look out your window, someone bending over, getting it up the rail, or someone on their knees sucking down while you got little kids around, all that. That's what you see in the ghetto. You know, I grew up in a somewhat middle class / hood, apartments, Section 8 apartments and houses. I grew up on the street. One side was Section 8 and the other side was houses. So, and I played with the kids from other communities, in the projects and all that stuff, man. So I seen it from the upscale and the low scale. And I seen cops in the alley getting head. I seen a couple cops, saw that, school of hard knocks. I'm walking in the alley with my friends. I see a head going up and down. Chick getting in on in. Cop, laying on back. She going to town on it. Seen that. Seen plenty of that in the hood. Walking through the alleys and all that. Even I had to cuss an old lady out. I was like, what? About 12 or 13 there. She talking about I want to suck your little dick. I said, ho, ho, ho. I said, you ain't sucking on this. I don't know where you get that little dick from. I said, but you ain't sucking on this. I said, what you need to do is take your motherfucker ass and get away from me so I can go to school and go wash your ass up. She start crying. And so, as I think about it now, if I was to see that lady again, I apologize to her. But she probably needed that. Who knows? That probably changed her life to see a young budding teenager at the age of 12 or 13, like a grown man, tell her I cussed her out like a pimp. I said, bitch, you ain't sucking my dick at all. Get the fuck away from me, something to that extent. I was a bad little bastard back then. I was bad. And she said, you little evil motherfucker. She started crying and shit and all that. Oh, okay, baby. And I went on to school. Because all I seen is death. Because venereal diseases and all that. I was hep to all that stuff back then. Because I learned from my parents and went to school. I learned sexual, they had sex education in school back then and everything. I don't know if they still got it now. So, I'm just telling you little life experiences. I'm not new to this. There's a lot of young men that's gone through what I already been through. That's why I try to tell these young guys, I've been where you been at. You ain't fooling nobody. And I tell the dudes on the internet, you talk that shit if you want. I'm in my early 40s. You in your 30s and 20s, I already been there, Slim. I've been there. Okay? This is why I teach. So y'all won't make the same motherfucking mistakes. So anyway, you got this mentality of some Negroes. That's how they think. And let me tell you something. I can side with both sides, but let me tell you something. I teach for young men and women not to make the same mistakes. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know who invented this shit, keeping it real. Keeping it real is giving back to your community. Okay, you don't have to go back to that community if you don't want. So long, if you know that money is going back into the community and you helping the people in your community. For instance, like me, for example, let's say if I come to some big money and I go back to Southeast Washington, D.C., where I grew up at, and build some buildings and stuff for the youngsters to teach them how to be entrepreneurs, That's keeping it real. And that's the kind of man I am. If I had about a million or a billion, not just a couple millions, I will make some places so that like some trade schools or something like that, or some business schools, so my young men and women can learn and be competitive with the market out here now. That's what I would do. That's keeping it real. And be there from the start to the finish. That's keeping it real. Okay? Okay, keeping it real is not trapping. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real is not selling dope to one another and killing each other. Keeping it real is not accepting these stereotypes as black males and females, like we ratchets and savages. We endorse that lifestyle. That's not keeping it real. Okay, keeping it real is getting the fuck out the projects. That's keeping it real. Keeping it real is trying to live a better life. Okay, keeping it real is for men to get back into building homes for their loved ones. I ain't talking about no motherfucking Section 8 cheap ass shit. I'm talking about foundation good homes, nice homes, palatial homes, big yards. You know, that's keeping it real. Keeping it real is circulating the dollar in a black community and rebuilding your black community, instead of living in war-torn communities. And let me say something, man. Let me say something. You look at Michigan. You look at Michigan. You look like I seen my man was talking about Gary, Indiana. I subscribed. His name Real Deal. And I googled it up, and I'm like, man, it look like a motherfucking nuclear bomb that hit Gary, Indiana, man. I don't know how it is now, but I seen some previous images of it. I'm like, man, what the fuck? So it's an economic divide there. It's something wrong. That's where you see it's a fucking problem. And 9 times out of 10, it's crime ridden. And that's what it is. We have to change that mentality. And that's keeping it real. Let me help you to something, bro. Those communities don't have to be like that. You don't have to even lead those communities. But when you got witchcraft hovering over your community, when you got murder and mayhem, when you got people that's fucked up, dysfunctional, when you don't have no economic base, when you got these conglomerates that moved out and outsourced the jobs from the community, like the steel mills and the factories and like GM and all the stuff up in Ohio and Pittsburgh and stuff like that, the hard places have been hitting. When they take industry out the city, that's when we need to make our own industry. We need to study our own economic structure. We need some more people that could know the ins and out of commerce, import and export of trade. Who got the commodities? Who got the resources? Follow the money. How can we make capital? That's keeping it real. In order to break the camel's back, in order to stop all this white supremacy and all this stuff that's happening against us, we must be economically strong. And certain things we have to boycott, and certain things we have to stand on for truth. Until then, we always going to be at the behest of somebody else and taking orders from them. I'm trying to show y'all. The only thing I can do is tell y'all.